Do you feel like you're compromising with yourself a little bit too much, or that you have the sensation that there is parts of me that I really like, but I somehow kind of forgot about them? If this is you, then this video is for you. My name is Marie, and I'm so happy that you're here. If you're new to this channel, I welcome you with all of my heart. And if you've been here a little while, welcome back. So today I had this thought about our own uniqueness, our own, this sort of feeling that we feel like this is me, right? And a lot of times we go through life and it's almost like we leave, little crumbs of ourselves in different places when we feel like, oh, maybe I'm a bit too much, or maybe, I am too emotional, or I get sad all the time, and that doesn't seem like it's appropriate. People get upset at me when I express my feelings in a certain way, or when I express myself, people say, oh, you're being silly, right? Let's say we've all had those feedbacks from the world. So how do you, when you start to realize if you lost a few pieces of yourself along the way, like little crumbs, in the story about Greta and, well, I forgot her brother's name now, but the story of when they were trying to find their way back home, so they left all the crumbs in the forest. But anyway, we'll leave that behind for a moment. So your uniqueness, or the way that you kind of feel that you are, a lot of times as children, we kind of have to adjust somehow. I'm sure we've been through all these different things. We had different parents, we had different friends, and we had to kind of change ourselves a little bit in order to feel like we fit in. So now that we're adults, we might be interested in finding some of those pieces again. So I think the first thing that you want to do is to focus your attention on it. So it turns out that time might not be the most important thing that we have. The absolute most important thing that we have is our focus, or our attention. So what we focus on is actually where our energy goes, which means that's what we're going to create. So if you start to shift your focus, your attention, to trying to figure out which pieces that you lost of yourself. Like maybe you just left a relationship and you say, I used to like doing all these things, but somehow they got lost in the usness, right? We started doing other things, and now I feel like, I really like doing certain things. Like, for example, I'll give you, I used to be in a relationship that was like about 11 years or so. And when I left that, I was like, I really want to think about what I like. So funny thing, I started watching soccer on Sundays. So when I would eat my breakfast and I get up with, my big bowl of cereal or whatever, I would go into my living room. I had roommates at the time, and I would like sit down, plop myself down in front of a soccer game. I loved the British, soccer league. So I used to watch those games, and I was like a Manchester United fan. So I would watch, all the games, but I would sit there, and, a soccer game is a long game. It's like 90 minutes long. I would sit there, eat my cereal. Eventually my roommate would come out. We would sit there, we hang out together, and we would watch soccer. And I was like, I remember liking this, right? So that's just an example of, you finding kind of your way back to you. So put your focus there, put your attention there, and ask yourself, what is it that I really love to do? Let's say it's something you love to do as a child. Maybe you love to sing, and all of a sudden someone told you, oh no, you're not that good at singing. Oh, you can't hold a tune. Like, who are they to tell you that? Like, singing is such a natural part of our being. That's like, it's not like even a skill or something that, that you train to do. It's like you sing. That's as normal as talking. You can hum to yourself, sing to yourself as you're doing the dishes, whatever, right? So you figure out that you like singing. Okay, so now what? Now you start singing, right? Or you figure out that you like painting. Well, now you dust off that old, painting set that you have, and you start painting a little bit. And you don't give a crap, excuse the expression, about what other people think about your painting. Maybe you should leave it somewhere where nobody can see it for a while it's still your baby. Or you start dancing, or you start doing gardening, or maybe you love skiing and you take that up again, right? So put your focus on what it is that you really like to do. And if you don't know, don't worry about it. It'll come to you. As soon as you start to focus on saying, What is it that I love to do? Or maybe you find a new hobby that you didn't even think about. Like, for example, I all of a sudden picked up climbing when I was in my 30s or so. I'd never done that before in my life. And I was like, that sounds cool. Let's try climbing for a little bit. It doesn't have to stick either. You can try something different. But definitely put your focus and attention on what it is that you want to do. What you want to do. Not what anyone else is telling you. Not what your kids are doing. Not what your friends are doing. Try to figure out what you want to, and that will help you start to bring out, your own unique self, you, because as you start to put focus on what it is that you want, your kind of inner self that was tucked away a long time ago is going to be like, oh, okay, it's safe for me to come out again. Like, it's going to lift the curtains and say, oh, she or he's saying that it's okay for me to be playful again. It's okay for me to be funny again. It's okay for me to be sad again, right? So put your focus on those things, and it will definitely help you. The other thing I wanted to say was your uniqueness. And I just glanced down at my sheet here because I couldn't remember. So sorry about that. Your own uniqueness. Like, what is it about you that feels the most like you? When do you feel the most happy? When do you feel like this is me? Like, as you're sitting there, maybe you're either you're sitting there drawing and you don't even feel like it's you drawing. I do that sometimes. I paint and I look at the painting afterwards and I'm like, okay, yeah, that came out. It's almost like I don't recognize what I'm doing, but when I'm in it, I feel absorbed by the process. It's like a meditative process for me where I'm just like in that process. And as soon as I'm out of it, I'm like, okay, yes, painting. Okay, done with that, right? So what is uniquely you? What is it that you feel like, what emotions are you in when you're doing what's uniquely you? Because a lot of times it's like when you follow that passion towards what's you start to find that you can pull out some other pieces of you that you haven't looked at in a long time. So maybe uniquely you is something that you've been told is too much, or something that is like bright and happy, and people are like, oh, she's always happy, like, why is she always so happy? And you felt like you had to dim that uniqueness down in you. I would tell you, celebrate it, appreciate it, say that this is me and I'm so proud that this is me. Dig into that uniqueness, and the similarities, being like other people is definitely overrated. Because why are you being like other people? People don't even care that you are like other people. We feel like, people are giving us judgment, and maybe they did when we were children, but we're adults now. So why are we not allowing ourselves to be us? Why are we not allowing ourselves to buy that shirt that we think is like in a funky color because other people are going to think that we're crazy? Why not? Wear that shirt and watch people say, oh, wow, that's a beautiful shirt. I really like that on you. You look so amazing. Or start writing poetry and watch people say, wow, I really, that's amazing, the poetry that you've done. Because your uniqueness, that kind of piece of you that's, is particularly you, that's your gift that you have to give to the world. So if you put that down somewhere deep down in the treasure chest below everything else down there, nobody's ever going to get to see your uniqueness, which is such a shame because nobody else have it. No other person on this entire face of the earth has the uniqueness that you do. So start digging for that. Start appreciating you. Start creating you. Bring back all those pieces of you and start creating those pieces. And that brings me to my next point, which I kind of been talking about already. Your hobbies and your passions. So a lot of times what's pulling us forwards in life are the things that we really enjoy doing, the things that get us excited, the things that want us to get up in the morning, the things that we do when like we have a free day and we have nothing else to do. It's like there's no obligations, there's no, you just wake up a Saturday morning and you're like, I think I might go fishing. Like, I feel so peaceful when I'm fishing. It's such an amazing feeling. That's what I'm going to do. Like, follow that thread of passion of your hobbies and of your interests and do more of that. Take back your time and say, I'm going to do more of this. I love yoga. I'm going to take a yoga class every week, and it makes me feel so amazing afterwards. Because as soon as you start to peel back your passions, you'll see more things come along. Maybe that yoga class leads you to a meditation class, or to a workshop, or to, needlepoint. So now all of a sudden you're doing that and you're meeting new people, and they're showing you a part of your unique you that you didn't see before, right? So focus on your uniqueness and on your passions, and see how the world is going to open up for you. Because as soon as you put your attention, your focus on what you want to create, what you want to build inside of you, it's like everything starts to open and you say, wow, I had no idea that I was going to get here. I don't know about you, but the best things that happened to me in life, I had actually no decision making in it. When I look back to it, I'm like, I never made that decision. Like that, it just kind of happened, it seems like. It's almost like the universe was like, you're going in this direction now. And then I started feeling very passionate about it. And I was like, oh yes, I'm going in this direction now. And I'll give you an example. For the longest time after high school, I had no idea what I wanted to do. I had absolutely no idea. Everybody went into like becoming teachers and lawyers and whatever. And I was just like, I don't know what I'm going to do. So I went traveling instead. And I was like, okay, so I'll check out another country. And all of a sudden it just dawned on me, you're going to be an architect. I was like, okay, cool. Like it wasn't one of those things where I've dreamt about it my whole life that I was going to be an architect. But all of a sudden I was like, all right, yes, okay. Started applying to all these schools, got in, the whole thing, graduate school, work, 25 years later, here I am, right? That was been my whole career thus far. And I think that's how things happen in life. It's like you don't actually make the decision. It's something that, a decision has been made for you, or you've done it somewhere in another parallel dimension where you're like, yes, this is going to be my life this go around, right? So just start working towards your passion, and you'll start to see that things will open up that actually don't feel like you made the decision. It'll feel like, wow, I don't know how I ended up here. And I'm all of a sudden, like I'm leading this workshop about needlepoint, and I didn't even know how to do it a year ago, right? So you'll see these doors start to open that you didn't even know were there. Like they were, you had no idea. So focus on you. Focus on what you love. Journal about it. Say, this is what I want to do. I'm really interested in. And then start looking. Then you take action, right? Then you take action and you say, okay, I'm going to sign up for that class. Or I'm going to try to go on that trip to go fishing. Or I'm going to go skiing next weekend. Or whatever it is that you decide that you really want to do. And as soon as you shift your focus, you start to unravel yourself and see more and more of you come to life that you forgot about. And you'll be like, wow, welcome home, that little piece of me that used to love these things, right? I wish you the best. I hope you like this video. I hope you try it out and leave me a comment below and say, yes, I did this and I actually really love it. Or I hate it. I'm going to try something different, right? You're welcome to. And I love to chat with you. Lots of love. Namaste.